Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I hope the audio is well. You can hear me, right? Okay, so good afternoon. Welcome to our free online lesson. And for today's topic, we will be looking into the basics to steel structures and connections in Revit. So I hope this lesson will pique your interest and you will be able to learn something, whether you are currently a Revit user or you are just looking into softwares that could help your structural works. And for that, I hope this will be a good introduction topic for you, and maybe you could consider getting Revit for your structural works. Okay, before we get into the demonstration, let's look at an overview of what we'll be creating today. Okay, so the first thing for steel structures, I will be demonstrating to you how, okay, welcome Raj. Okay, how do I get these columns? How do I construct these columns and then have all the structural framings, which is beams basically. And then we will also look into at some of the steel connections. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump into Revit. Okay, welcome. Okay, everyone can see my Revit screen, right? So I have prepared my Revit. Okay, let me just see if there's any other participants waiting. Okay, all right. So for those who just joined me, I'm just about to start the demonstration. So I'm just starting with Revit. Okay, so here I'm now at level 1 in Revit. And as you can see, okay, welcome. As you can see here, I have prepared some grids for my model here. Okay, and this is a model linked to my project here as a reference. Okay, so if I go to the 3D view, okay, this is the link model, which would be the reference for our structural columns and beams today. Okay, so currently we are in structural discipline. So if I change it to coordination, you can see the whole building. So basically, this is actually an architectural model. So if I change it to architectural, so you can see these are all actually architectural elements. But for today, as we are doing structures, I'm going to be changing it to structure, and these floors are all structural members. Okay. All right. So first, I'm going to be placing columns, steel columns. For that, I would like to. We will be looking a lot into this structure and steel tab today. Okay. So first, let's go to click on the column here. And then you can either place one by one, but for today I will be using place on grid. Okay, and then I will just drag the selection. As you can see, there is columns on every intersection of my grid. Okay, and then I can go ahead and click on finish. Then if I go back to the 3D view, you can see that there are some columns that have been created. So, okay, I'll just focus on this rectangular part of this building, just to make it short and simple. Okay, as you can see now, the height of the column is not correct, basically. So for that, you can change the height and everything at the property tab. Now you can see that the base level is at level 1, but it has a negative 2,500 offset. So we don't want that, and the top offset is only at level 1. So you can go ahead and change it to true and without an offset. Okay, you can do it one by one, or basically you should just click at one of the columns and then right click, select all instances. Click the column, right click, select all instances visible in view. And for that, we'll select all of your columns. Then you can change this. Top level should be to the roof, and the base offset should be 0. Okay, and then I will be creating the beams next. So the beams will be at the level 2, and I'll go to level 2. Okay, so for the level 2, the discipline at the property tab, the discipline is still showing coordination. Change that to structural. Okay. Then maybe I can change the shaded mode, so you can see the floors a bit clearly. Okay. Next, I'll be placing the beams. So I can go to my structural tab again, click on beams, and I would use beam on grids. So again, I can also individually draw this one by one, but today I'll be using on grids. Okay, so basically again, I will select my grids. Okay, and then I can click on finish. Okay, so you will see this column, and you can't basically see the beams, and the columns are like single lines. So for that, you have to change your view, your detail view. Change it to fine, then only you can see your columns and beams. And I will also not need this tagging for today, so just click on it, select all instances, visible in view. I just go ahead and delete it. Okay, let's go back to the 3D view. Okay, here are the beams, but as you can see, it is clashing with the floor. So for that, I would have to lower the beams. So I would have to apply an offset to a negative value. So I have calculated this in advance. So I have to apply a negative 180 millimeter downwards. So for that, again, I would select all instances, select the beam, and right click, select all instances, visible in view. Okay, for the beams, there is a start level offset and end level offset. So if you only apply at the start level offset, basically your beam will be a standard beam. So we don't want that, so I would apply on both start and end. Okay, now you have it. So this beam is right under our floor. Okay, next I would just unlink the model, the architectural model. So we can clearly see our column and beams. So I will go to the Insert tab and Manage Links. And this is the model. It's an architectural model. So I can just click on it and unload. Okay. So now we are left with our column and beams. Okay. Next, we will be adding the beam systems. Call it beam systems. So go to structure, and then we will be using this beam system. So perhaps it's better if we go to the level 2 view. Okay, you can click on the beam systems. So now we are at automatic beam systems. So if I just hover my cursor here, as you can see, there will be some hidden lines that will suggest the beam system. Okay, and you can also set this at the property tab before you apply it. And besides automatic, you can also sketch the beam system. So I would do the sketch for today. So click on the sketch, and then I click on the rectangle. So I go to this center point, to this center point, this rectangle. And then I would like to specify the beam direction. So for this, basically your beams will be in this direction. Okay. And then at the property tab, I would like to have it at a fixed distance, but you have other options like fixed numbers or maximum spacing, clear spacing. And for the fixed distance, I would put 2200. Okay, just click on finish. And here it will give you the beams. Okay, and again, I don't need this, so I'll just select all instances and delete it. Let's check on how does it look. Okay, so basically here we've created an extra, so you can just unpin this and delete, unpin this and delete. Okay, and for this one, if you remember, we offset this to negative 180 millimeters. So basically, you also need to do that for these beams. Okay, unpin them first. So if you're using beam systems, it will be pinned. So you can unpin it, then only you can change the properties. So with 380. So now a one beam system is created. Okay. So this is basically how you create your column and beams. And next we will be looking into creating the connections. So we will be looking into the steel tab. So for the steel tab, from Revit version 2021 onwards, they have this steel tab edition. So if you're on an older version, you might be wondering why steel is not available. So it's only available 2021 onwards. Okay, so for the first connection, so I'll just delete this column so we can just see it more clearly. Okay, so we go to the steel tab, and the first one I would try to do a notch. So you can click on the notch. So what does a notch do is basically I would like to apply a notching here. So I click on the notch, click on the first member and second member, then hit enter. It will load for a while, and then the notching will be created like this. Okay. Okay, if you hover on your connection, there will be a box here. So you can click on the box. So it will show you also this circle and the number 2. And if you click on it, it will basically change the direction of your notching. So then if I click on it, the notching will be on this member. And click again, they will be on this member. Okay. All right. So that is notching. Next, notching, we will look into cut by. So cut by, for example, I have a beam intersection like this. So if I choose cut by, click on one member and next member and click on enter, it will basically do quite a similar thing to notching. And next, I would like to also show you a contour cut. So click on the contour cut. So what does contour cut do is basically you cut a hole at the surface of your beam, for example. So I click on contour cut and specify the face of the hole, click on it, and then I can draw a hole. And there'll be a hole created in my beam. And then we'll look into miter. So if we have a situation like this, we can miter this. So I just click on miter, click one member, second member. Okay, for clicking both members, you have to hold on control. For example, can go back again to miter. I click on the first member, then I have to hold on control, and then there will be a plus sign at your cursor. Then only you can add into your selection. Then enter. So this is miter. Okay, then next we will look into some of the steel connection. So since we're still in the steel tab, if you click on the connection, click on connection, and now you can look. We will only have a generic connection, so we will need to load our connection model. So basically, you can click on this icon, this arrow, 45-degree arrow. Click on it, and then it will show you a selection of connections, steel connections that you can choose and add into your project. So to add the connection, you can just click on it and then click on add. Okay. This. For this one, I will be looking for a clip angle. Okay, here, clip angle, we'll be using this. You can also just select all and add all, but for today, I'll just be using few. Okay, and click on OK. So now if I go to connection and okay, if I go to connection, then I click on the clip angle. Again, I click on the first member and second member. Enter. Okay, it is actually created, but we can't see it unless you change it to fine detail mode. Okay, so now you can see our clip angle. So you can go ahead and apply to every beam connection here. So you might be wondering, do I have to do this to all every connection. So basically you can copy and paste it. So for that, you click on your clip angle, right click, and then you can click on propagate connection. Okay, click on the connection, and then it will load for a while. And then it will be created. Okay, so just click on the clip angle, right click, and then propagate connection, and it will be applied to all the similar connection that you have. Okay, so maybe we'll look into another type of connection. So for example, what do we look just now? Okay, we have a base plate. So I can click on the base plate. These are for the structural column. So I can click on it, enter, then a base plate will be created. And this symbol is actually a weld symbol. So this is being welded to this plate. Okay, so again, if you would like to apply to all of the columns, click on it and then right click, propagate connection, and wait for a while for it to work. Okay. It does take some time, but this will save you a lot of time if you, instead of doing it one by one. So now it is applied on every single column. Then I can also go to the structure tab again, then click on an isolated foundation. And then I can click add columns and basically select some columns. For example, these 4 columns, and I can click on finish. Okay, so you can see this is the base plate connection. Okay, besides using this connection, we can also customize using these 3 elements, these 3 commands. Okay, so for example, I have a situation where this beam is split. I would split this beam. Maybe I have to copy it outside first. Okay. I'll just create a new beam so it doesn't look if I have applied something. Okay, so for example, I have a situation where these 2 beams need to be connected by steel plates. So I can go to the steel tab, then I can go ahead and select the plate. Then I have to set where the plate should be drawn. Then I select this face. Maybe I'll use a rectangle. So I can freely draw my plate. Okay. I can click on finish. Then a plate will be created. And then I can also specify the thickness and then the coating and everything. And then next, I will also apply some bolts. So I click on bolts, and then I will have to click on bolts, and I have to click on the plate. And then again, I will have to specify the face, the work plane. Then I will have to draw a rectangle to specify the arrangement of the bolts. I will draw something like this. Okay, and then I hit finish. By default, it gives you something like this, but you can click on the bolt and go to the property tab. So here you can specify the number of bolts, the length on each side. So for example, I would change the edge distance on side 1 and 2. So it will give you an offset. So for example, 15, okay, 15 on both sides. And then I will also add in more bolts, for example, 6. Okay. And for this, that 3. So you have custom steel connection by using these 3 commands. So basically, weld, you can just place for weld, you can just click on it and then select two members you want to weld to, and then click here. Then this symbol is representing welding. Okay, so what do we have? Okay, we can also look into this corner cut. So corner cut has need to be applied on a plate. So if you want to have it cut like this, you can just click on corner cut and then click at one corner and it will give you a cut. Okay. You can also change the type of cut that is being applied. So for now, it's a straight cut. Side 1, side 2, 15 millimeters. You can change that to maybe 30. It will be a bigger cut. And for example, I would change it to convex cut. So convex will give you something like this, and concave is the opposite. Okay. So that is about corner cut. And maybe next we'll look into notch and skewed. So for example, just use this for example. Go to steel tab and then click on the notch skewed. Click at one member, and this is the notch skewed that is applied. But I have to, steel tab, notch skewed. Click at one member. Okay, this is the notch skewed that is applied, but I have to specify the property at the property tab. So for example, change the tilt angle, maybe to 30. Okay, if you cut this, maybe the distance, cut back. Yeah, so you can play around at the property tab. Okay, I think that is all for the demonstration for basics to steel structures and connection. So do we have any question? I will open for question, you can type in the chat or you can also unmute yourself if you have any question. Okay. Okay, here from CCW, can next webinar show how to do connection MS staircase? Okay, I'll keep that in mind, but for the next webinar, maybe we already have the topics being set because we have to change from software to software. We have to cover other software as well. So, but I'll keep this in mind. Okay, thank you. So I would also like to bring you to, welcome. I would also like to bring you to our website. So, sure. So visit our website. You can just go to acadsystems.com, and then it will bring you to a home tab like this. So from here you can catch up with our latest news, and if we have any promotions. Okay, we have chat. How to import from SolidWorks. Okay, I'm actually not familiar with SolidWorks. Okay, but I guess if you drop us an email at our help desk, maybe we can answer your question. Okay, can Revit run design for this connection, pass or fail? So basically we have, within Autodesk, we also have more advanced softwares that could do all the analysis and calculation. For example, we have robot structure analysis and also advanced steel. So all the analysis are done in those software. I don't think Revit can tell you either it's a pass or fail. Okay, but usually I would say the workflow, you work with multiple softwares. So once you're done your modeling in Revit, and then you pass to another software for analysis, something like that. What is your opinion to do connection in advanced steel or Revit software? Which one is better? Okay, so for me, it depends on your what you expect. So advanced steel is, by the name itself, it's more advanced. Okay, so if you are really into steel structures, then perhaps you would have to use advanced steel. But if you are doing something like what I've shown to you, Revit is basically good. And Revit, a lot of people use Revit because sometimes we have multiple tabs here. So we have multiple disciplines here. So basically from architecture, it will be passed to the structural engineers. So they can start their work here within Revit. But if you need more advanced stuff, you have to probably get advanced steel or robot structural analysis, for example. Okay. If I use Revit but do connection in advanced steel, so need to import to Revit again? No. So as I mentioned, this within all this Autodesk software, they basically work together. So each of them complement each other. So they won't be doing your job twice. Okay, you're welcome. So another chat. So to be clear, Revit is a modeling software. To do structure analysis, we have to use another software from this modeling. Yes, correct. So for analysis, I can say that you do the modeling in Revit, and then you have to bring it to the one that I am familiar with is robot structure analysis. Yep. So actually, we also have a lot of plugins that can be used. But of course, there is external plugins. You can have plugins, for example, Sophistic, that will help you with your structural documentation and various others that you can explore. I hope that clears questions. Okay, do this support Tekla? I'm not quite familiar with Tekla. Sorry, I can't answer that question. Okay, so as I was saying, I was introducing you to this to our website, acadsystems.com, so you can get our latest promotion and news from our homepage here. Look into our sales and everything. And then we also show our free online lessons. So these are the next topics that will come up. So basically you can click on it and then book your places. Okay. Then if you scroll down, you can also find our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. So I would appreciate if you subscribe to our channel. We have an extensive library on various topics that we have covered over the years across multiple softwares in Autodesk. So you can check out our website, our YouTube channel, and maybe learn something. Okay. Okay, well, welcome. And again, thank you everyone for joining me in this free online lesson. And I hope to see you in the next session. So thank you very much. Be safe. Bye-bye.